just two-dimensional pointers and tell you how you are going to declare a two-dimensional pointers, which is basically can be used for a two-dimensional array. Now write a program for this to show that how you are going to use the two-dimensional array, and also try to show you how you are going to pass this two-dimensional array to a function. Now, once you understand the concept of 2D array, you can extend it to three-dimensional array also. Therefore, it is just a matter of understanding that how you are going to use 2D array in order to translate the program to even a three-dimensional or even an n-dimensional. But of course, n-dimensional is not used in practical sense. Therefore, we only talk about up to a three-dimensional array. But more practically, it is only up to two-dimensional array. Now, just I'll continue with the slide which I have already done in the last class. Okay. Okay. We start with this slide. What are different declarations for a array? Now, the first one, which is very simple, it says A is a simple integer. Float of B5, you already know is a, you are going to use it. It is basically a float of, it's an array of float. Then this is a single pointer. Now, this is a double dimensional pointer. This is a 2D array of 6 rows and 3 columns, all characters. Now, this is the one which I am talking about, that we should declare the integer star E5. Now, here it means that this is an array, and this one indicates that it's a pointer to integer. Therefore, we can say E is a one-dimensional array of size 5 of pointers to int. Therefore, it means it's a pointer to an integer. It's a pointer to an array. Now, similarly, if you are going to use here, if I am going to use this here, if I am using it here, F is a pointer to a one-dimensional array of size 5 of it. Now here, it's a pointer to, now here the difference is that you are using a brackets over here. And therefore, we shall explain you that what is the difference between a without brackets or a brackets. Now let us try to come to one of the very important thing, that how you are going to use a 2D array to declare as a pointer variable. Now I write a very simple program, and after that I will try to convert into a little difficult one. If I'll just move from here. I'll just move from here and come to a different board altogether. Okay. Is the board visible to you? Okay. Now let us try to write a program in order to show you the how you are going to use this thing. Now I'll just write a C program for a 2D array using arrays, and then I will try to convert that program into using a pointers. Okay. Now just a simple program I'll write. Now I can read this array like this, and to print it I'll use the same for loop. Okay. Now this is simple program which I used over here. Now this all of you must be knowing, and if you are not very familiar, just I will explain you in this is a loop for reading an array, and this is a loop for print. Now this you might have done in the last semester, and this is simple static allocation of array where you are using an array A of 9 elements. This is static allocation since you are using this thing, and therefore you cannot change the size of the array. And once you are going to write a program, you can only put maximum of 9 elements into this. Okay. Well, I think all of you are clear with this concept, and therefore I don't need to explain this in details. That means you are using this thing. Now, if I am going to use the same program using a pointers, now in that case, you have to make sure that how the program will be converted into a pointers. Now here, just take a 2D array like this. Now when I am going to allocate memory for the 9 elements, it is going to allocate this, maybe this is A. The allocation maybe starts from, let us take an example, starts from 2001 to 2036. Let's take an example. That allocates 9 into 4, 36 bytes. 9 elements, and each element takes 4 bytes. That is, let us take 36 bytes. And the address A, the A contains equal to 2001. Therefore, A will contain 2001. Now in this case, this value will be 2001. This will be 2005, 2009, similarly 2013, 17, 21, 25, 29, and 33. Okay. Now this is the actual thing. Now you are visualizing it as a 2D array, but actually it's a linear array. It's a linear array with of 36 bytes. Now you can also think of this maybe as a one-dimensional array. Now this is the same. Now it's our perception that we are thinking of a 2D array as a it could be thought of as a 1D array also. But when we are trying to use this concept, we are accessing the locations one by one. Now if I am going to allocate this 2D array as a pointer, now how will it differ? Obviously, this has to change. This line has to change. And here, I will use a pointer to an array declaration. I'll use a pointer to an array declaration, which is going to allocate an array of 3 spaces. Therefore, in that case, this will be one row, this will be second row, and this will be a third row. This is the first row, the second row, and third row. And each of this row will be having a space for 3 elements. Will be having a space for 3 elements. Now, just see how we are going to allocate this one. I am going to write like this. Integer, I will write as integer star A of. Now here is an array of 3 where each one is an integer pointer. Where each element is an integer pointer. And therefore, if I am using the declaration instead of A33, that means I used it in place of integer A33. Now, obviously, this 3 has, one of the 3, this 3 has come. That means we already used the 3 over here. That means I already used this 3 over here. But what about the other 3? What about the other 3? For this, I have to allocate memory dynamically. Since the number of elements are here, then first of all, let me allocate for this. I will use like this: for I is equal to 0, I less than 3, I plus plus. And I will allocate like this. Now here you have flexibility. I can write like this: star A plus I is equal to integer star malloc size of int multiplied by 3. Now try to understand this line very well. Since I am having 3 rows, therefore I have used a 3 over here. I have used a 3 over here, and I am allocating 12 bytes to each row. Why? Because you are already having an array. You are having an array like this. Now this will require 12 bytes. This will also require 12 bytes. This will also require 12 bytes. Therefore, I am allocating 12 bytes to each and every row, and that row will take 3 elements of 4 bytes each. Now here, if you are using, for example, you might find that I am using a 3 every time. But if I would have been using over here, if I am using, let us take an example. If I am using over here, let us take I am using, say, I am using over here as 5.
Can you repeat it again, sir?
See, actually, what I am doing over here, I used a 3 over here, isn't it? I used a 3. Therefore, in this one, this is the row actually, and this is the column. Okay. Now this will take how many bytes? 36 bytes. 12 bytes per row. Therefore, I use a loop of 3, which is nothing but the number of rows, and this one is for the number of elements multiplied by the size taken by each element. Now, since both are 3, you might be confusing that which of one is 3. But let me clear it very clearly. I am going to replace this 3 by, say, I am going to replace this 3 by, say, 5. Now here, if this is the case, what you have to do is that you have to replace this with 5. That means I am allocating row wise. I am allocating 5 rows, each row containing space for 3 elements, and that means this 3 stands for this column, and this 5 stands for the row. That means I am allocating, each row allocates 12 bytes. Doing it 5 times, that means I am allocating 60 bytes to this. Actually, your array is something like this. This is 5 and this is 3. That means I am allocating for this one, I am allocating for this one, I am allocating, say, for this one, I am allocating 12 bytes. For this one again I am allocating 12 bytes. And then 12 will give you 60 bytes. Therefore, this will obviously, size of integer will be 4 multiplied by 3 will give you 12, and this will allocate 12 bytes to star a plus 0. That means initially this loop will run 5 times. In the first iteration, it will be star a plus 0, will allocate 12 bytes. In the second one, it will be star a plus 1, will again allocate 12 bytes. Will keep on running 5 times, and the last one, it will be a plus 4, will allocate 12 bytes. That means each and every row is being allocated 12 bytes each time. And this is actually how you are going to use a pointer to an array. Now here, one thing you should be very clear, that once I am using this concept, I am using a row measure-wise to read. The row measure-wise is that you are going to read the first element this one, second this, third this, fourth, 5, 6, 7, and so on. If I am going to do this way, if I am going to read like this, one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. If I am going to do this is called a column measure. This is called a column measure. In this case, you have to reverse the arrays. Now, in this case, here, this will come equal to, you are going to read the element, and the element will go like this. That means you can allocate it the other way also. But in almost all the books what you have been following, they always follow the row measure way. This is the row measure. That means you first fill the row. You first fill the row. You first fill the row, and then you go to the second row, third one. You first fill the whole row. Now this is actually you are going to allocate like this. Once you are allocating like this, you can very well allocate 12 bytes to each array, and then you fill the element into that. You fill the element one row. Now once you are doing, now if you can use this thing interchangeably also. That means I can use like this also. Even if you're not, you can use this also like this. You can use like this also. So it's perfectly correct. But here, it looks that you are mixing an array with a pointer. Though interchangeably, the compiler will always treat this as a pointer itself. We already told you all arrays are pointers. Therefore, I can use like this also and will have no difference. But only thing is that if you are using all pointers, it's better to use all pointers only. It is better to use all pointers only. Therefore, instead of using like this, I use the star A plus I. Now, one thing you should be asking me is that when I use this one, when I'm using this one, now here A plus 0 is the first row. When I'm putting a star A plus 0, that means it points to the first row address. Therefore, you are allocating 2 bytes to this. Similarly, this loop will run 5 times. Now, in the third case, now once I am going to do, I will be using it to allocate memory. Now in that case, what I will do, I will write a for loop like simply a simple for loop. Or suppose you want to do it 5 times. Star A plus I plus J. Okay, or I can use the old one. I should not, because it is going to use an array. But one thing we must be very clear: even if I use an array, it is not a static allocation at this point. Why? Because you already allocated the memory dynamically. Now, these both are same. These are same. Basically, both are same. But the above one is translated like this. Let us, if you see over here, let us take the map over here. If this is the area, if you are going to allocate, let us take an example. Or if I do it over here, I'm doing a pipe like this. This is the 5 into 3. This is the 5 into 3. Now let us take, it's 15 elements are there. Let us take it takes the memory from 2001 to 2060, 60 bytes. Now this is allocated 2001, and you are allocating it how many bytes? 12 bytes. Now in this case, this value start from 20013. This will start from 2027 and so on. This will start from 2013. This will start from here connection. This will start from 2001. Then 12 bytes will be 13. Then 12 bytes is 25, 26. Then similarly, the next will be 2039 and so on. It will take 12 bytes each. Any questions? Now, once I am going to use like this, it is going to interpret like star A is 2001 plus 0 plus 0. Because in the first iteration, I and j both will be 0. Now 2001 plus 0 is 0, 2001. You dereference it. Once you dereference it, it is going to come to this location. Plus 0, again the same value. And whatever you are going to put from the keyboard, you will put into 2001. Okay. In the second iteration, this will remain fixed. And this will change to 1 because you are changing j. J is in the below loop. Therefore, in that case, j will come. Now here, 2001 plus 0 is 2001 in itself. To dereference it, it is going to come to this place. It is going to come to this place. Plus 1 will apply a pointer arithmetic to this. 2001 plus 0 is 2001. Plus 1 is 2005 because that is occupied by 4 bytes. And therefore, this value will be nothing but 2005. And this will point to this location, And whatever you are going to put from the keyboard, that will be put into 2005. Now, I already told you in the earlier classes that whenever I am doing a pointer arithmetic, this plus 1 is pointing to the next block of memory. It is not that 2001 plus 1 is 2002. It will happen only in the case of characters because characters takes 1 byte. Now here, this value 1 is equivalent to 4 bytes because an integer takes 4 bytes. Similarly, in the third loop, this will become 2001 plus 0 plus 2 and will give you 2009. Now after this, the j loop will terminate because you are already having j less than 3. You have already used a loop over here. You have used it over there, j is equal to less than 3. And therefore, the loop terminates. And in the next case, now this value, we will have 2001 plus 0. Now here, try to understand this very well. That when the loop terminates, now the value of I will become 1. And in that case, now in the next case, it will be, you are writing like this, scanf. Okay. Now, when the loop terminates, now the next value will give you star 2001 plus 1 and j will become 0 because this is I and this is j. Okay. Now here you have to understand it very well. 2001 plus 1 will give you what is the value? (2001 plus 1). Now, this is a row. How much byte you allocated to each row? How many byte you allocated to each row? Just see.
Well,
Just a moment. Just see over here. You have allocated 12 bytes. You have allocated 12 bytes here. It means that here you are going to get the value of 2013. This will be like this. Plus 0. You are going to reference star 2013. Plus 0 is the same. Therefore, whatever you will enter from the keyboard will be entered at the location 2013. And here, it will store at this value. It will store at this value. It will store at this value. Similarly, if you are, when you will then the next loop, this will become star 2013 plus, that means okay, plus 1. Now this one is only 4 bytes, therefore it will give you 2017. And you will dereference at 2017 because this one is 4 bytes. Whereas this one is 12 bytes. Because it's a full row, allocating to full row. And whatever you are going to put over here, it is going to put over here. The second it is going to put over here. Similarly, going forward, it will be next one will be star 2013. Therefore, plus 2 will give you star 2021. That is the third element. Now again, this j will terminate because here j is equal to 0, here j is equal to 1, here j is equal to 2, and you have used a loop j less than 3. That means in the next time this will terminate, and in the third case it will become, say, star 2001 plus 2 plus 0. And this will give you nothing but star 20, because for the 12 bytes will 24 bytes, plus 0 will give you 2025 location, and whatever you are going to enter over here, it is going to come to this place. That will come to this place. Just a moment. I think it should be this 12 bytes. Some mistake. There's some small mistake I did. It should be here. It should be. It should be 25. Because 13 plus 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. 12 bytes. Definitely 25. Then the third row, that will be 25. Then from 25, it will be 12 bytes. That means how many? Next byte will be 25 plus 12, the 37. Therefore, in that case, this will give you 2025. And this is the value what I got over here. This is 2025. Therefore, if I use a different color pen, I'll find it out that it will put it over here. Similarly, it will keep on moving over here. And next time it will be 2025 plus 1 will give you 2029. Then 2025 and so on. And similarly, now in the third loop, both I and j both will terminate, and this array will be populated by these numbers. And now you just require to print the array. You just simply write you write a simple you write a simple same for loop. Again write another for loop, and then you write printf. Now here you have to use a double. Because you have to use a 2 over here. Just I'll make it a little more clear so that we will be able to. Now understand it. Why did I use a double star here? Because this one is used to dereference the interleaves I. That means this will dereference row, and this will dereference the column. Now let us try to understand how it works. Initially, it is 2001 plus 0. You dereference it, it will come to 2001. Then plus j, is 2001 plus J is 4 bytes, therefore 2005. You want to pick the value from there, this again dereference it, it is going to pick to the address from 2001. Therefore, in that case, I0 and J0, therefore initially this will all become 2001 only, because in this case 2001 plus 0 is 2001 plus 0 is again 2001. You are putting dereferencing it with a star, it means that that value will now be taken, and now it will be, you will put the value for this. Once you are going to put a star, you are getting the value. I already told to you that whenever you are putting a star, it finds the value, and value is the one which is the middle part. If you would not put this, if you not put this star, it will give you the address. It will print 2001 because you are only dereferencing the row, not the column. You want to get the value, you have to dereference it to get the value for that thing. Otherwise, if you are not using this one, therefore, if you are not using this one, you will only be getting the address. If you want to get the value, first dereference the row and then dereference the column. And this completes your program. Okay. Now here you can use, instead of using this line, you can also use A of ij, that's normal array. But just to make you clear that why we are using, because you want to use everywhere, we want to use a pointers. We want to use the everywhere as a pointer only. Therefore, every time you are using a pointer, consider this. Therefore, that's the concept. That means I am using over here to declare a two-dimensional array as a pointer, then reading the array as a pointer, and then printing it as a pointer. Therefore, there is no need to use any array for this. And therefore, this is going to make sure that you are using the pointers over here. Okay. Therefore, here I am declaring it as a pointer to an array. Then using this allocating 12 bytes to this. Then again I am using this line to read the array. And then here you find I value is single star because I want the address and not the value. If I would have a double star, I will get a value. But you know that in a scanf, you use a ampersand because you want the address. When you are using a scanf in a normal case, you use like this. Like this. Why do you use this? Because you want the address. Since this is already an address, therefore I don't require to put an ampersand sign. Otherwise, if you are very particular with that, you can put an ampersand with a star. It will cancel one another. अगर तुम ऐसे ही लिख दोगे ना, it's the same thing. It is going to cancel the things. Therefore, it is just like because you want the address, you want the value, and then you point. You are going to give an address. Therefore, it is going to cancel one another. And while printing, you do not require to have this thing. Therefore, in that case, you have to get the value. Therefore, use a double star. Therefore, in the case you are using to read, you only use one star. Therefore, that is what I did. Correct. Now, similarly, when I am going to print this thing, I am going to print using here a double star. I am using a double star because you want to find a value. If you will not write this, if you will not write this, or if you will not write this, what will happen? It is going to print the addresses. It will print 2001, 2005, 2009, then 13, 17, 21, and so on. you're going to print the addresses. If you are going to dereference it again, you will get to know the direction values. Correct? Anything? Any problems? Now this is the whole program I written. Now in this case, if you are very familiar, now what you can do is that you can write a program to use this type of calculations, and then above this printf, above this printing, you can use the manipulations. Now therefore I just try to give you a simple question which you can solve at your home. Declare a 2D array as pointers and print the sum of each row and columns. Now what you do is that you take an array like this. Put some value to this, for example, 4, 8, 2, 6, 1, 3, 9, 7, 2, 4, 5, and say 2. Now you declare an array like this, fill the elements over here, and then the output what I want is like this. That means it should, first of all, output of first row is equal to 20. Second row again is 20. Third row 13. First column 7. Second column 15, and third column 16, and fourth column 15. This is the output I want. This is for row, sorry. This is for row, and this is for column. This sum 7, 15, okay, can we do this? I have written the scanf code, I have written the printf code, I have written the code for declaring the array, to allocate memory to this. Just you have to write the code to do this. Now, how many loops you will use? So, how many loops you require to do for this? Obviously, you will do 3 times to add the rows and 4 times to do the column. Therefore, you write 2 rows, 1 row for 3 times to add the rows, and again 4 loops when for I is equal to 0 to 4 for add the columns. Therefore, if you can do this and use pointers everywhere, that means once I am going to add this, I am going to add this one. I am going to add this one. I will write for I is equal to 0, I less than 4, plus I. Then you pick these numbers. Now I will just tell you what are the numbers over here. It's A00, A01. This value is nothing but A of 0 plus 0. This A plus 0 plus 1. A plus 0 plus 2. This A plus 0 plus 3. Now this is A plus 1 plus 0 and so on. This A plus 2 again just keep on changing this value plus 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 1 plus 2 plus 3 and keep on coming. Now this understand that this will be 0, this will be I. Is that clear? I expect that most of you should be able to do that. Those of you cannot do this, just send me the code on my email ID. I will just modify it and explain you again. But I think you can do this. Therefore, I've already written the skeleton code for this. You just need to change the things in between. Anything? Any questions? Shall I proceed further?
Sir, I have a question.
Sure. Ask.
Sir, we use star to dereference the pointer and get the value at the specific address.
Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm.
So when we put star a plus I,
Hmm.
we dereference the row.
Hmm. Correct?
So when we are executing that statement, star a plus
Hmm.
I plus j
Hmm.
bracket star.
Hmm.
So first of all, we dereference the row, but
Hmm.
we don't get the value. We use the address and add plus j to it.
See, actually, the value is an address itself. See, what you are
Uh,
trying to say is totally correct. But let me try to explain you what is the meaning. Suppose I am using the code like this. Let us do it like this, just to make you explain once again. Suppose if I take, say, integer star a, okay, and I take integer star b, and I take integer c, and then I write b is equal to address of c, and then I write a is equal to address of b. Correct? Because C
yes,
is a
sir.
simple. Okay. Now I write a printf %d and I write no, just a moment. I will put it is equal to, just a moment. I will use like this. Okay. What will the first statement print?
So it will print 10.
It will print 10. What will the second statement print?
It will also print 10.
No, it will not print 10.
No, it would print the address of the value, the place where 10 is placed.
Correct. Why? I am going to dereference it, but why you are getting the address? Because
Sir,
A
because
is a double.
Yes, sir. It is a double pointer. That's why it is just one star won't difference it completely.
Correct.
We need to put another
One
star to
star will
difference it.
not dereference it completely. It is printing the value itself, but value is a address. Similar is the case over there.
Yes.
Now, if you see the memory map, I'll just try to show you how it works. Now here, this is C, having a value 10. Maybe some address. Let's take an address to be say 2500. Now for B, again you will have one address. Maybe the address is 2520. Again you have another A. Maybe the address is 2460. Now B contains address of C. That means B contains 2500. A contains address of B if it contains 2520. Now 10, 2500 and 2520, all these are values only. All these are values. This is a value. This is also a value. This is also a value. This is the address. Now, once you print a star B, it prints the value. It prints 10. Once you do star A, again it prints the value 2500. But if you are going to print like this, now this one is going to dereference the value it comes to 2500. Once it again dereferences, again it comes to the address of 2500 and takes the value 10. It means that in this case you will get the value equal to 10. This will print you the 2500
Address.
address. But it is basically a value only because you are printing
Yes,
the
sir.
middle part. You are picking the middle part. This will print the 10. And if you print just B, if I write like this, say print F, it will print value of B, which is 2500. Therefore, it
Yes,
is
sir. It will
going to
be the
print
address of B.
not address of B, value
Address
of
of
B.
C, sorry. Address of C.
Ah,
Address of C.
ah. But because the address of C is contained in the value of B, but don't take it with C. When I write this line, it is going to print the value at B. It has nothing to do with C. The statement above that might have written over here, but I am not concerned with that. This statement will print the value of B. Therefore, I am not, at this point, I do not know if B stores the address of C. Therefore, whenever you are going to do a printf, it always takes the middle value. Similar is the case in the other one. Once I am using the concept of a double pointer, which is when I declare integer star A of 5, it is basically a double pointer. So when I dereference the row, I get an address. Once I do a double star, I dereference the row and then column, then I get the value.
Okay, sir.
Correct?
Got it. Got it. Yes, sir.
Now
Actually, I thought the star F3 is double point, not a double pointer.
Similarly, if I can use a triple star, I can write like this. I might write the code like this. Integer
Star A of 5.
I can write like this. T. And I can write over here D is equal to address of A. And if I want to print the
So we
value
could,
of 10, I can write printf star D. It will give you 10. But if I will print star A, it will give again 10. If I print star B, it will again give you 10. If I say printf C, it's again 10. Therefore, I can do it 4 types of things. I can print only C, I can print star B, I can print star A, and I can say star B. And all of them will print equal to 10. all of them will print there. But if I remove one
So,
star
sir,
from here, bola.
so if we declare a 3D array, we can declare it as int star star p of 3.
See, if I am going to print, I will declare it. I can declare two ways. I will declare int star star a of say 5. That's a point.
Yes, sir. That's what I was saying.
That. Otherwise, you can use one more way, which is little confusing. Integer star 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 a. That also I can declare. But it will be a little confusing because you have to visualize that in another way. I will show you in the next class both of them. I can use star star a5 one way, or I can use star 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 a.
Okay, sir.
Now,
Thank
in
you.
that case, I expect that all of you should be able to write this program. And in that case, you can use a dev C++ compiler or a turbo C++ compiler. If you're using a dev C++ compiler, in that case, you have to, it's an LC based compilers. Therefore, you can use this compiler, a dev C++ compiler. But save the program as .c and not as .cpp. If you save the program .c, you can write all the stdio.h and stdlib.h. Don't save it as .cpp. You have a choice to save as a CPP or as C. Okay. Now, in that case, we will be writing 3-4 programs just to make sure that you are comfortable with working with the pointers in C. Even though I can show you a 3D array also to do this, but it is difficult to visualize. You can very well think of a 3D array as a room where the numbers are written on the wall, on the floor, on the ceiling, as well as the space. Therefore, it's basically a 3D array. You can have a number over here, which will have a row, which will have a height, will have a length and a breadth. Therefore, if I have a number over here, it will have, say, 5 feet from here, say 4 feet from here, and 2 feet from here. Therefore, it can have 3 dimensions. That means just you have a studied this in the physics. When you have a particle in there, you can apply you can have a 3-dimension to this. Therefore, you had been using like this a graph like this, the I, and then you will have a J and a K. No, this is the same thing, a 3-dimensional array. Therefore, it can be used over here. Now, next class I show you how to pass a 2-dimensional array to a function and manipulate it over there. Now you recall that already I have done in last class how to pass a 1-dimensional array. Now extend that concept to pass a 2-dimensional array from main to a function, and without returning from there, I will be manipulating the main array. Okay. Now, anyone having any doubts, you can ask me anytime. You can send me. I think one of the students sent me a code yesterday to debug. I will debug it today. Therefore, you can send me on my email ID tahmad2@jmi.ac.in, and I will be able to reply to that. Therefore, in
Thank you,
any
sir.
case, I want everyone to be comfortable with C programming. Obviously, all of you are not from computer engineering background. Some of you are from electrical, mechanical. Okay, you should be at least conversant with the basic concepts. Therefore, I will be also covering the pointer to a function over here. How can I declare a pointer to a function? The pointer should point to a function, not as variable. Therefore, that also I will cover in the next class. And therefore, today I will upload this one. Therefore, I will just be using, I will export it. You can use as a doc file also, or as a PDF file. PDF file. Now, once I will export it, and you will get this screen that we can see. You will get this one. You can get this. You will get this as in your notes, and you can very well see this. And all these pages will be like this.